What is going on, one and all? Welcome to On Screen Live for this July the 3rd, if you can even believe it. My name is Andrew Jupin. Good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, depending upon where in the world it is you are watching this fine day. Happy whatever, man. 4th of July weekend, if you're celebrating that. Belated Happy Canada, by the way, to our Canada Day, that is, to our neighbors to the north. Canada Day was just a few days ago. We love Canada here on We Hate Movies. We also love talking about movies, and I love talking about movies with two of my best buds in the whole goddamn world. First up, you can see him this summer playing Albert Einstein in Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer, Eric Siska.
Yes, we are very excited for that movie to open.
Sure.
Please come to see Oppenheimer, where I play Einstein in not really a fat suit, just a little more makeup than usual.
Yeah, just a little bit more face makeup. But dude, when your hat falls off, kudos, man. That is some Chaplin-esque comedy.
40 takes it took. 40 takes to get the Christopher wasn't having what I was doing for a while, but we got there.
Well, I'm glad you guys worked it out.
Yeah.
Are you guys are you gonna go? Like, are you gonna buy a ticket to Barbie and hold it up to the camera?
Oh yeah, definitely. Of course.
Yeah,
we're supporting movies this summer, and it's great for people to go back to the movies.
It's supporting other movies summer, right?
Exactly.
And of course, bring him in here. He's a fellow who loves going to the movies, but he also loves sticking his nose in a good book. Mr. Chris Cabin.
There was no place for poetry readings, and they were stripped permanently from my act. Thankfully, we were able to get Orson Welles to see an early screening of Three Amigos. His reaction was rapturous. He would not stop saying that it was a lovely picture. Chevy was at the top of his game.
No, that's a lie.
Was just an amazing presence altogether. He did this, of course, right before making what I can only call a jerk-off hand motion before entering his limousine.
Hey, speaking of jerking off hand motions, dude.
What? Oh,
yep.
Hi, guys.
You're gonna eventually run out of books, I think.
Eventually,
you're like a 7-book guy.
You'll never know, though, Eric. You'll never know where the end point is.
Are you buying new books for this bit? Like, are you on eBay or like at the book barn?
No. I mean, I like going to use. If the question is, do I like going to use bookstores? I absolutely do, and I like, buying new books. But I have quite a lot just from histories of reading about half of them and then putting them down forever.
Oh, yep.
A classic. But like, I have enough film books from the era of us going to purchase where it's caked up. I haven't thrown any of them away.
Neither have I. They're mostly in storage.
Same.
So yeah, guys, it's the holiday weekend. We're doing a quick broadcast here. Shout out to Steve, who's on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Hello, Steven.
And mentally, I'm on vacation too. Cracking a beer right
absolutely,
now.
Dude. Don't even worry about it.
It's the holiday weekend, right? You got to cut loose a little bit, make some mistakes.
It's the holiday weekend. It's also the holiday weekend at the box office, and things are a little soft. Let's take a look in a segment we call Highest Gross. Love that hot coffee.
Love that little music. Love that graphic that Felipe whipped up for us.
Oh yeah, we got. We're gonna get a new graphic from Felipe that we're gonna show everybody.
Oh yeah,
just a little bit here. But yeah, first we're gonna go around. We're gonna do the numbers here. The top 5 at the domestic box office here in America. First up. They fell a little bit, but they stayed right where they were last week. Transformers: Rise of the Beasts.
Yeah.
Coming the stagnation of the beasts.
Yes. The slowness of the beasts. I kind of think this is also a good movie for kids now. Like it probably was a teenager movie for the first weekend, but I think now, since there are animals, that's the one thing you've added that like kids can like it. Although I must say there are some pretty brutal, as with all Transformers movies, there are some pretty brutal deaths.
Oh yeah,
in this one of machines. But it's amazing. I think this is just taking up like kid space now.
Yeah, absolutely. Because now like some either older kids like teens or whatever, or adults have seen it, and it's like, all right, look, the gorilla doesn't whip his motorized dick out. You can take the kids to see it over the holiday.
There's definitely dads that are like, we're not going to Elemental.
Yep. Absolutely. I need more explosions than Elemental.
Right. Yeah. Explosions.
Yeah, but this raked in another 7 mil in its 4th week. So, good for Paramount and Transformers. At number 4, another hold right where it was last week. Or actually, no, sorry, down just one. But Chris Cabin, you saw No Hard Feelings this weekend.
I did. With
Jennifer Lawrence sex comedy here.
I have to kind of like. This is where I would like the bad movies to be more like this movie. I would like. This is an okay movie, a totally okay movie. Both the leads are very good. Jennifer Lawrence having to do this is insane to me, but whatever. She's very good at it. And like she doesn't have a support. Like if everybody checked, the person who made the guy who made this was the person behind Good Boys, which was the movie that the whole thing was.
They were
little
like babies,
kids cursing,
babies that want to like fuck or whatever.
Who want to fuck and are cursing a lot. That's kind of the whole thing.
I did not see the baby sex.
It was
thing.
it was Jacob Tremblay.
It was indeed.
Did you see that, Chris?
Of course I did.
Of course you did.
Jacob Tremblay. Like, it's fun. Like this. I have to say this about this movie and Good Boys is those are as close as I've seen to like those completely forgettable like 80s like comedies that like what's his name, Savage Steve something who did One Crazy Summer. I'm trying to remember.
Oh yeah.
I'm blanking on it, but those kinds of movies, this is as close as I've seen to that kind of tone.
Which needs to come back to a degree. I do miss those movies. I think this one looks a little more adult than the Good Boys. So I'm actually excited to see this.
I mean, Jennifer Lawrence is so fucking good that I kind of recommend it just because she is so good in it. But like the movie is just so badly put together, and so like here's a scene, here's a scene, here's a scene, here's a scene, here's a scene. That's a movie, right?
So it feels like a little like vignettes or something almost.
Like there's no like even if you do that, there should be something that coalesces at the end of it, right?
Sure.
This doesn't have that. It does feature my current favorite actor, Eben Moss-Bachrach from
The Bear and Punisher,
Andor,
was Microchip.
And Andor.
Yes, of course, in Andor. Yeah.
And he's in it for a little bit. You've probably seen the bit from the trailer. But I enjoyed it, but it's not a good movie. Like it's not put together well.
It's okay to enjoy bad movies, man. By the way, Cabin, directing from the internet, you were right. Savage Steve Holland is who you were thinking of. And just because I had his filmography open here. We're talking 2014's Nickelodeon made-for-TV movie Santa Hunters.
Oh, boy.
4 children try to claim that Santa Claus is real. And I guess that's the little log line here. And I guess, because of the title, that's like what? They're going to have his fucking head mounted or something?
That would be great. Oh, that'd be fantastic. If you take another version. We've tried violent Christmas movies, and they've worked so well. So many times. Violet Night, everybody remembers it and loves it. Everybody's still talking about it today. And I just like, I don't know. At least that would be something, but I assume this is just Nickelodeon like, hey, we're going to hit him with a Nerf gun.
Yeah, probably. I feel like
movies, just want to quickly say.
What are you saying, dude? What?
I'm against Santa movies in general. So I agree with you, Chris. Yeah.
Sure. No Hard Feelings in week 2, 7.5 million. It's about a 50% fall, which isn't terrible, but this will be, including me and Steve, a rental. Sure. Big POV thing here. So, all right, number 3, of course, Elemental. Disney's big fucking money pit. Their $200 million money pit. Here at number 3, 11.3 million. It's another 39% drop. I mean, like it's a decent hold, but often not great gross to begin with.
I am just waiting for this fucking thing to be heading to Disney. Like, there's some movies where I'm just like, let it stay in the theater for a while, make some money, whatever. This, I'm like, just send it to Disney Plus now.
Yeah.
Like, nobody is like, you're not hearing even the Pixar people defend this movie. They're not even going to back. The people who are addicted to this shit are still like, no, this is bad stuff. Get it off the streets.
The funny thing, though, I'll say is that this number 3 at the box office didn't really do much, but it's a bigger splash than something we're not really going to talk about because it didn't chart in the top 5. Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, which debuted down below The Flash at number 7 at the box office.
What is this?
This is the movie.
Sea Beast movie he's been talking about for like 3 or 4
years. Whenever you said the Sea Beast movie, I've been like, I guess I need to find out what that is later, and I've never been able to.
The problem with that is that there is literally a Netflix animated movie called The Sea Beast that came out like last year.
Oh no shit, that's right. Yeah, so that made like $5.2 million or something. So it didn't even crack the top 5. That's a big flush away from for Universal. How much did that? We don't have a.
Do we have it?
No. No, I was looking to see its cost, but I don't have that right in front of me. But yeah, poor Universal. What are you gonna do? And then no surprises here. Still holding in at number 2, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse here in week 5 with another 11.6 million.
I'm hearing the animators are hard at work getting you a 5th version that we promise you will like all the way through.
What's happening here? Are we redoing the movie and putting it back in theaters?
There was issues like or
they did it once already.
They did it once. And, like they did a fix of sorts. Like in one frame, it just if you read, there was a report. I think it was in the Times. I can't remember about how like I forget if it was Phil Lord or his partner had just worked the animators to the fucking bone. Like.
Oh yes, I did see that thing where they were like doing all these changes and shit, and they were like, "Guys, do you know that this is an animated movie?"
Yeah.
But when you change shit that drastically, it takes weeks and months to fucking fix.
So there were like literally like different versions of the movies being sent to different theaters, essentially, with different scenes and different fixes happening.
Like I said initially, when I saw this opening weekend, I couldn't hear the screen.
Yeah.
So,
I think they fixed that.
I forgot the audio stuff too. Yeah.
I think they fixed that as well, Eric. But yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll see a 10th version before it gets out of theater.
You know what's really shocking here is The Flash is gone in one.
Well, thank God.
Where is it on this list?
It was I think it was in 6th this week. It was right above Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken, and it made
Transformers,
$5.2 million.
Transformers in week whatever
4,
wiped above The Flash.
Yeah, dude.
Well, you don't, because the Transformers: Rise of the Beast does not have a true crime podcast leading it in. Like that's that is like the thing. Fucking is a disaster because Ezra Miller. They are insane. Like whatever, man. Like it happened.
Someone pointed out in the chat another movie that we're not going to talk about at length, but it was somewhere still at the box office. I thought it was a little farther up. No, down to 13. But I just want to put out there, I did see The Blackening late last week. Fucking funny movie, man. Little light on the horror, but that's okay. It's like rapid fire fucking jokes, great performances, great screenplay, really funny shit. It was me and like 5 people in the theater at Union Square on like a fucking Thursday afternoon. That's my new thing, man. I go to Union Square Travel Agency to pick up grass, and right across the street is the fucking Regal Union Square right there.
What's funny, you mentioned 5 people seeing The Blackening. That's the amount of people, including me and my wife, that were at Indiana Jones on Saturday afternoon.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah,
soft opening, right? It's not doing so hot.
Soft opening.
Eric, you say that, but like my theater was packed yesterday.
Really
packed. Like me and Soph, we like the first 2 rows. Like we just like seeing the whole screen right up there. Yeah. But all of the aisle, like up there, was full, completely full.
Wow. All right.
Speaking of which, yes. The soft opening, Indiana Jones and the soft box office opening.
Well, he's an older guy now. You know what I mean?
It was at number 1, but with $60 million, folks. Not great. About 130 million global, which is also not great.
And the budget
somehow
was
this movie cost like $295 million.
Astronomical.
I don't know
where that went.
I really don't know.
Not really on the screen. I guess it's just all the CGI stuff is. which also feels like a racket to me. Is someone embezzling? Yeah. What is happening with these
That's
budgets?
Probably true.
Exactly.
I wouldn't be surprised, Eric. That sounds right.
But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, and I love the Indiana Jones franchise, like, as an idea, right? And through in there are movies that I love, like, and dislike. And, I think we're sort of the last. It doesn't feel, at least to me, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but it doesn't feel to me like a generation spanning franchise, like a Star Wars, like in that same way. And I mean, you sort of look at the numbers, right? 1 in 4 ticket buyers were over 55 years old.
And that's the thing, is like this franchise, like this is something I could have probably got my dad out of the house to go see, but he has passed away recently. And I feel like a lot of the audience for this movie doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. Unfortunately.
It's a father and son movie. It's funny. It's a father and son movie with one of the most like weird father and son relationships within it, on both sides, both with Indy's father and Mutt, who we will talk about when we talk about the movie for real. But I saw so many dads and their kids in Indy getup going to the theater when I saw it. I saw several father-son duos with the Indy garb, with the whip too. Like, I don't know how they got through the fucking front door.
Wow, that's fucked up.
They were amped for this, and I think that is probably who's going to see this. But I also agree. This is not a universe. This is a character. Like, Star Wars is a universe. You get to play around. There is a precedent for that to be a thing that you just go off to another character. That happens in the movies themselves. This is just a character. It's just Indiana Jones.
And you can leave him behind, and you can do another World War II adventure and play in that sandbox and have it be unrelated, like Kelly's Heroes, Dirty Dozen, all these movies that came out in the 60s and 70s that were taking place in that World War II European theater sandbox.
Yep.
You can do it again. You don't need to. You can even make it funny. You don't need to resurrect these characters through CGI.
You do well. I mean, like that. We'll get to it, but like the coldest open to, like, I was checked out to the whole beginning of this movie because of that.
Wow.
But like what you're saying, Eric, like, you cannot make anything now that doesn't have some kind of IP. Like, that has to be the guarantor that there is some existing thing that, like, because this is by all means, and again, we're going to talk more about this, but like, this should have probably been Phoebe Waller-Bridges' movie, if we're being honest about what this movie should have been.
Well, I mean, this is what happens when you anchor like some sort of pseudo franchise to a single dude for 42 years.
And you cannot move away from it, because that is what is bringing in your 55-year-olds. Your 55-year-olds are coming in because they heard Indiana Jones is going to be in the movie.
That's true.
And frankly, I mean, it's tough to get those like plus 55ers back to the theater.
Why would they?
It has been tough to come back from that.
The state of the industry, movies are a toilet. IP in it.
Yeah, there you go.
IP in it. Yeah.
IP in it. There's IP in it. There's IP in the movies.
We will talk more about Indy and the Dial of Destiny a bit later. But first, we got a plug here, because this is the holiday weekend. So we got to plug our holiday show. But it's not for this holiday. No. Eric, which holiday is this around?
Oh, shit.
How many fucking shows do we have coming up?
Christmas, yes. I'm against Santa movies. You caught me off guard there. I wasn't thinking of December right off the dome. December 7th. We'll be at White Eagle Hall in Jersey City, New Jersey, talking about the Santa Claus.
We had to shoot down the idea of doing Pearl Harbor. We really were thinking about it for a moment.
I suggested it, no joke.
I mean, it's still Michael Bay's worst movie. So, but yeah, no, Santa Claus, of course, movie. We talked about the third one on the show.
That's right.
This one is what, like, Origins level. We are going to be talking about Tim Allen dumping oil everywhere. I don't care where he is.
Too body horror.
Absolutely.
His body gets fatter and hairier, which is like what's happening to me.
It's like the most Cronenbergian Santa Claus tale.
Yes.
Like, this guy goes through some violent, presumably painful physical transformations. And we're going to talk all about it at White Eagle Hall in Jersey City, New Jersey. That's December 7th. We're just getting the early word out about the ticks. We won't be inundating you every week from here till December, but WHMpodcast.com, click on that tour button and get your ticks in advance. That's going to be a lot of fun. That's a movie that I've seen a bajillion times.
At least 10 at this point, which really sucks for me. Really sucks.
Maybe it was twice, maybe.
It was a big, like, had that shit in the clamshell VHS case, my friends.
Clamshell.
That's right, dude. Yeah. Snappy. So anyway, get them ticks, folks. whmpodcast.com/tour. Now, there is a shit ton of movies to talk about with more on the way. And the only way we can try to keep up with even a small amount of it is in a cleverly named segment we like to call Trailer Segment. All right. Now, for folks at home watching along on YouTube, down in the show description, I like to point out we have the links to all 3 trailers we're going to be watching today. Fellas, have you seen any of these before? Are these all new to you?
These are all new to me.
Yeah.
I had the first one here in front of my indie screening on Friday morning, and that is, of course, the new sit-down action thriller from Liam Neeson, Retribution.
Love it. Look at him.
I'm telling you right now, I don't think this guy's getting out of the car in this movie. It's directed by Nimrod Atal, of course.
Look, everybody was wondering, what if Locke was an action movie?
Yep, that's exactly right.
What if that could happen? And everybody was banging on the door. Why don't we have more Locke movies? Why aren't there more Locke movies? Why isn't Liam Neeson in a Locke movie? I am finally getting it.
Kind of interested because Nimrod Atal did Control and Vacancy, which I thought were pretty good.
Predators, not great.
Right. Armored is pretty good. It's got a good little.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
Armored is good if you want like something that feels like an older. You know what I mean? It feels like that movie came out in 1995 or something.
Well, literally, like there's a Richard Fleischer movie, like Armored Car Robbery, that is almost exactly it.
Or that also sounds like a Hard Rain without the rain.
Yes.
Right, exactly.
But this is Retribution. Comes out August 25th here in the States from good folks at Lionsgate. You dudes synced up over there?
I'm ready to roll.
Oh, yeah.
All right. The trailer for Liam Neeson in Retribution in 3, 2, 1, go.
Car.
Ooh, Lionsgate Road.
I like that opening like shot was like the old Grand Theft Auto view.
Yeah, totally. Dude, this movie is gonna do wonders for the row your boy royalties.
Oh, really? Oh boy.
Dude, yep. Here we go. Just cars blowing up this whole movie. Still in the car.
Dennis Hopper is back from the dead, and he is torturing you.
Oh, man. Why is he like 73 years old driving little kids to school?
He was probably a deadbeat dad before. Now he's trying to make up for it.
Oh, sure. All right. So speaking of speed, we can't get out of this car or else it will explode. Oh, hey, Matthew Modine.
Mm.
Oh, wait. Wait a minute. Hang on. Oh, well, now I know Matthew Modine's a crispy critter.
Oh.
Yeah. Unless that was a trick and he's the killer.
Oh, Cabin, I think you just called it, dude.
Okay, we're out of the car here.
That's true. That might be like the first scene, though. Oh, fucking Stewie from Succession. Also blowing up, possibly. So this is like most of this budget is car explosions.
Yeah. They're
Could
good.
Be worse.
It's worth it.
I'm fine with that, yeah. You said my daughter. You hurt my daughter.
Yeah, it's not my granddaughter. Oh, the purge is happening.
That's nice.
You're next.
Oh, driving through the purge right now, honey.
Dude, that row your boat fucking little ringtone.
It's to top the charts again.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be back.
Billboard 100
above Ice Spice. It's gonna be above all the other stuff.
Coming in at #1, row your boat.
Oh, Jim Boy sitting around the campfire singing row your boat. Yeah, I don't know. It's about as Neeson exploitation as it gets. So, I'm tuning in.
That's a big VOD for me right there. That's
absolutely. It's probably going to be a big VOD for the charts in general.
Well, yeah, hey, probably.
But they got to do that thing where it's like, you know, give it to us kind of easy when it goes to PVOD rather. I don't want this like, you see these sometimes where it's like a really new movie. It's like rent now for $24.99.
Right. Yeah.
Fuck you. I will not do that.
That's for like, I've found that's usually for like big, like the Super Mario Brothers when it first hit Amazon was like $25. And I was like, you are out of your fucking mind.
I didn't even pay that much when I saw it in the theater.
Why would I do this? Why would I do this? Out of your crazy mind.
Here we go. The next one up from famously retired filmmaker Steven Soderbergh.
Yes.
His new series, Full Circle, coming to Max just in a couple weeks here, July 13th. Kind of excited for this. I was going to say something about it before we watch the trailer, but now I don't think that written, of course, by the great Ed Solomon. Bill and Ted's movies and Men in Black, among other things, including he wrote. He's done a lot of things with Soderbergh. He wrote what was the Benicio movie from a couple years ago?
Benicio,
the big crime movie. Yes, No Sudden Move. He wrote that.
Yeah.
But this appears to be a 6-part limited series. Queued up here with the trailer in 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, you better believe this is a trailer for the trailer.
God damn it.
Yeah,
you
need it.
I can tell it's going to be good. All those tense looks I saw at the start of this.
Oh, man, Oliphant. Love that guy. Dude, Dennis Quaid. What is this guy turning into lately? Looks-wise, I barely recognize him. Zazie Beetz, okay.
So it's a Neeson movie with Timothy Oliphant? Ooh.
Well, apparently it's a show.
Uh-oh. All right. Okay.
CCH Pounder being the lead of something just makes me happy, period.
Ooh.
I'm very much into this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like scuzzy rich people shit? Okay. Jim Gaffigan.
There's a problem with your Hot Pockets. Come with me.
Your Hot Pockets have been kidnapped. Oh, yeah.
There's a toaster strudel on the line.
Claire Danes running around. Okay.
Hey.
Yeah.
It's Big Steve. I'm always going to show up for Big Steve.
Yeah, that was something.
He's my guy. I love
stoked. Him. You know what's funny is I haven't really done too much of his television though.
Mosaic is worth seeing. It's very weird, but also somebody posted it today. There was this I'm trying to remember the name of the series. I think it's Fallen Angels is the name of the series. And it has two things that are interesting. It has the first pairing of Steven Soderbergh with Brendan Fraser on like a little 30-minute like noir piece they did together. And it also has the only known Tom Cruise directorial effort. There was a 30-minute Tom Cruise directed episode of Fallen Angels with what's his Peter Gallagher
nice,
and Isabella Rossellini.
What?
And it's 30 minutes. You can find it on YouTube. It's worth seeing. I like the Soderbergh one better, but I'm biased. The Tom Cruise one is interesting to say the least. Does
that mean it did a shitty job?
No, the direction is fine. Like it's not like oh my god, there's all these ideas here, but it's like competently made.
You're talking
1993. He's directing this
that aired on Showtime, and also Peter Bogdanovich, John Dahl, great neo noir director.
Yes, wow. A lot of people
Alfonso
worked on this.
Cuarón, Tom Hanks directed something on this.
There were these. This was a thing for a little bit. You were allowed to make shows where you're just like, here's a good director. take something for 30 minutes and see what you can do with it. There was Amazing Stories is another one version of this. Spielberg is all over that.
That
Clint
I
Eastwood
remember.
did one of those. I love that kind of TV. That's like my favorite kind of TV. It's just 30-minute shorts from good directors.
I was looking to see if there'd be any luck with Just Watch having some more information here, but it appears that the only listing they'll bring up is the Wong Kar-wai movie. So, but you're saying there's a shit ton of this on YouTube?
The Cruise one and the Soderbergh one, I think, are both on YouTube. I know the Cruise one is because I watched it there, but the Soderbergh one I watched recently, and there's a bunch of other people in it, but Brendan Fraser is very good in it, and he's just your kind of character, Eric, like very like cold hitman Melville type guy,
just like me.
Yes, of course. International spy, Eric Siska.
They call me Le Samurai.
Ooh, hey, great fucking movie,
It
man.
is, yeah.
So we got one more here. This is the next directorial effort from Ethan Cohen, Drive Away Dolls, co-written by him and his professional and personal partner.
Check out where he's parking that car in this poster.
Trisha Cook is her name, and yes, it's you know what? It's a shitty poster. I don't like this poster.
You're right, because usually the headlights are up here, right?
Well, look, also, it just looks too much like the movie 43 poster.
Dude, thank you. Absolutely.
It was giving me like reverberations when I saw it.
Yep. I was like, oh, no, fuck, am I about to watch a sketch movie?
You're right. Wow. I just Googled movie 43 poster and it's like dead on.
Yeah, dude, it's fucking brutal. It's a bad poster.
No, thank you.
But yeah, so this is the route that Ethan's going with his solo directorial stuff.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see, you'll see, but like it is that because I forgot this was the title of the movie.
Yeah, but not a great title, also, but yes,
I have seen this trailer, and it is interesting that like literally you can see the bifurcation between him and Joel with. The Macbeth movie plus this is what a normal Coen Brothers movie feels like.
Yeah, I think you're totally right on with that.
It's
but
interesting. It's very interesting.
Take a look here. This is limited on 9/22 from Focus Features. Makes me wonder with that 9/22 platform if they would have this in Toronto this year or something.
Probably.
Let's see. So, all right, there we go. All right. The trailer for Drive Away Dolls, directed by Ethan Cohen, in 3, 2, 1, go. Trailer for the trailer.
Again.
Got us.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, good neon sign. That guy's doing Clint Eastwood cosplay.
Is that Bradley Whitford?
I can't tell.
I can't.
All right. Wally's certainly doing a voice here, huh?
Yeah.
Yes. That seems kind of Coen-esque, to have like a weird, fun accent.
Yeah, totally.
Accentuate that character with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Bill Camp.
That's pretty funny.
Hell yeah. I'm interested in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. As a Tallahassee head, I'm very interested.
Oh, dude. One thing I've known about you for years, man, you love Tallahassee, Florida.
Oh, yeah, dude. I get my panhandle on.
Oh, good nut shot, but from Beanie. Okay.
I love seeing
Boston Public.
Yeah.
Kicking anyone in the dick is just a delight.
Joey Slotnick, Kevin.
Yeah.
slam. Yeah, okay.
It could go either way. Like,
yeah.
that is that one of those trailers where, like, I could see it being annoying as hell or being very good.
I think I heard that this was very short as well.
Oh,
like
that's
barely 90 minutes or
good,
or maybe under.
Oh, that's you're talking my language right there.
The co-star there to Margaret Qualley is Geraldine Viswanathan, and I think the only thing I may have seen her in is Blockers, which I remember being pretty funny.
She's great. Blockers, I think the kids are great. I'm not crazy about the adult stuff.
Okay, yeah, I can kind of see that. Although, what's his face? I thought was really good. What the fuck's
John Cena?
Yeah, Cena. I thought was very funny.
I enjoy that man.
He does Beefcake, overprotective father pretty well.
I want to go back and check out The Marine. Maybe that would be an episode for us.
Oh,
it is. Oh, man. It's so stupid, Eric. You're going to love it.
As David points out in the chat here, I reckon this Ethan guy has seen Fargo. And I think that's what's kind of funny, right? Is like, this is sort of like, you realize like Joel was kind of like, the roadblock seems wrong, sort of like the regulator, like he was the dude pulling the switch to make sure things didn't go like too far off the rails, kept a bit of the sort of more seriousness, like cinema kind of feel to a lot of their stuff,
right?
And this is like if you just took that Cohen kinetic energy and just let it run roughshod over a movie, which could be either exhausting or be really fascinating. And I think the fact that it's short might lead to it being not exhausting, which I'm excited for.
I'm really hoping. I'm really pulling for him.
So, we will see 9/22 from Focus Features. Guys, we have a merch store. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I read about that.
Yeah, you can go to whmpodcast.com and click on that merch button. And we wanted to announce the next rad design from our good friend Felipe Sobrero here. Now, if you are a subscriber to our Patreon, you may have already heard our We Love Movies episode, all about Indiana Jones and the which one did we do there? Indiana
Last
Jones,
Crusade.
Last Crusade. Duh.
But I mean, Raiders is also available on Patreon if
That's
you're
true.
into that. Yeah.
That's where I got confused. But Last Crusade, where there was a bit that started up when we were talking about the end of the movie related to skeleton juice. So if you've listened to the ep, you know what I'm talking about. And thanks to Philippe, we have a new piece of merch, skeleton juice merchandise, ladies and gentlemen. You can go to our merch store and check that out.
It's beautiful. Look at that.
I love
guy.
it.
Donovan being eviscerated by drinking. As you know, he actually got the Grail right, but it was just full of skeleton juice.
That's right. Yeah.
That's a mistake. That's a mistake on his part.
Totally. And by the way, I'll just mention, since it's kind of blowing up over the past few days, the show is on Blue Sky now, folks. So at whmpodcast.bsky.social, that's where we are over there if you're making the leap off the RMS Titanic Twitter. So just put that out there, and we're working on getting all four of us on there as well, so stay tuned for that. But if you're on there, give us a follow. Now we can get back into it for a little bit, because and we should watch the time here, because I know be a bountiful, mighty discussion.
Right.
Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Let's try to not do exactly spoilers. I don't know how this is going to go.
We'll try not to spoil.
I think, I guess there are some spoilery moments, especially towards the end, but I can open just by saying it not for me.
Sure.
This was, the de-aging stuff I'm fine with in dollops and doses. They really stretched my patience on this one. And I think they're getting better at it.
Yeah.
But I also am like, the cold dead eyes, it hits me every time.
See, the thing is, I thought the opening sequence, which is the de-aged Indiana Jones, I thought was quite riveting, except for whenever he talked or did anything too close up. It kind of looked weird.
There's a reason this takes place. There's the reason this place takes place in the dead of night.
Yes. And I kind of, I think, say what, I mean, obviously this, I would rather them not do CGI. I'd rather them get a stuntman to double for him or something.
Yeah.
But it's a train sequence. It was kind of giving me vibes of the opening of The Last Crusade.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that what's funny is like that part I thought was pretty fun. And I thought it kind of suffered from a real soggy middle for me.
Okay.
Yeah, that too. I mean, I don't think the thing that I'm not, I can't say the thing I really like about this movie, because it is the twist towards the very end.
Sure.
Not the twist, a reveal, I guess.
Yeah. Which we're not going to spoil for people.
We're not going to do. But hey, I mean, I guess my biggest thing is like, if I'm going to have an Indiana Jones movie, I want a fucking Indiana Jones movie. I don't want also Phoebe Waller-Bridges. We're trying to hedge our bets here. This is kind of another movie that you might like instead.
Yeah, all right. So I'll jump in here and say I clearly liked this much more than the two of you did. And I disagree with that. I think they are equally teamed. I found her to be a welcome addition because it's a fucking character. Like, she's complicated. She has her own motivations. She's funny. I mean, I think Phoebe Waller-Bridge is funny in general. If you don't, if you're not like a Fleabag person or whatever, like maybe her, sense of humor doesn't, work with you, which is totally fine.
I never saw Fleabag, but I kind of liked her here. And I think the thing is, it's like Indiana Jones is traditionally pairings, right? I mean, Marion in the first movie, Short Round and Kate Capshaw in the second, and then of course the father in the third, and then the fourth with Mutt. And this is the thing is, no matter what, this is better than Crystal Skull. I think. Anyway, what do you think about that, Chris? I'm curious your opinion.
I think it's a switch off. I think they're about as bad as each other. But here's the difference. The Spielberg directed the one, so it's well directed. Everything was clear. I could see what was happening. I had no point like being like, why is this shot like this? What is going on? Like,
but everything that was happening was stupid.
The script sucked.
Yeah.
The script was terrible. So now we have a better script, but the filmmaking sucks. I like James Mangold. I'm a big Mangold. Copland is very good. Logan is probably one of my top 5 superhero movies.
Yeah.
I don't think he's right for this. I think it's dark as shit through all this stuff because they have to do the CGI stuff. There is one scene where I almost screamed because I don't think I'm spoiling anything by saying there is a plane being chased by a motorcycle, and the motorcycle is being chased by another plane. To me, that is a dramatic enough setup. And then they're like, how about if we make it completely look like shit with fake rain? Because it's not dramatic enough. It's not dramatic enough that that's happening. Fuck it. Put on rain that makes it impossible to see what's going on and look like shit.
So a little murky is what you're saying. And this is a trend that is not really beholden to Indiana Jones. Like,
it's everywhere.
Seen exactly. It's everywhere. House of the Dragon, Solo, like everything is murky now. Yeah.
Yeah.
To help hide CG, I guess.
It has to be, and it's like it's unfortunate because a lot of this movie, again, as much as I liked it, it's not perfect. And one of the problems was I was like, turn on the lights. Excuse me, you turn on the light. Like, there's so much of it, and not just the 20 minutes in the train at the beginning. There's a lot of shit where I'm like, man, somebody turn on the lights. There's even like they manage in parts where like it's Indiana Jones in his like downtown scuzzy apartment, and it's like the middle of the morning, and it's still kind of dark. And I'm like, what? He's got the shades open. Why is it this fucking dark in this apartment? So yeah, that's a big flub. I will say no spoilers about the state of Mutt, but I think that what it is winds up turning into one of, I don't know. It's a pretty powerful dramatic turn in the movie. I thought worked really well. And I think they do something with it as opposed to like, he's just off. He joined the circus. He's at Oxford studying. Sure. Like, it's an actual thing that holds weight. And I was actually kind of surprised that it hit that sort of emotional level for me. Because there's only like, honestly, in the 4 other movies, the only time I think I felt something sort of similar is I thought I lost you, boy. Yeah. Like, that's kind of it.
I mean, I think like it's emotionally, it hits, I think, because of, at least for me, it only hits because of what happens towards the end, the thing we're not going to talk about.
Yeah.
But like to the Phoebe Waller-Bridges thing, I think she's good too. I just don't, I felt no warmth between them whatsoever. I felt like they were just two people, and like part of that is what they're trying to do with the characters.
Right,
like
there's an
that
adversarial sort of relationship.
But like I still need some kind of connection because of how they bring her up. Like it's his goddaughter. I mean, I think that's in the trailer. She's his and like you spend time with her father throughout this movie, more towards the beginning. And I just was like, I didn't feel any connection whatsoever.
And also when they tried to make the connection, Chris, like the flashback, I didn't need.
No, it was terrible.
No, let me tell you something about that flashback too. I was like, that was one of the there was a couple of worry points in the movie where I was like, uh-oh, they're doing this. And if X continues,
yes,
I'm going to be very worried. And that was one of them. It's not a spoiler to say that there's a single flashback scene in the movie, but I was sitting there like, oh, fuck, is the structure of this movie drastically changed because we're making it in 2023 and like it's a different director and whatever, you know, and different writers more or less. Like, what is going on? And thankfully, it's the only one, which is both good and bad because it's not littered with them, so it doesn't fuck with the flow of the movie relentlessly. But also, now it sticks out as a sore thumb kind of thing because, like, now it's the only. I mean, aside from the first movie, that's or the first part of the third movie that is this extended flashback kind of thing, and then you're done, which this movie does also, except for this little, look back, and I was like, fuck. But now it sticks out bad either way. I don't know. So it was a bad move to have that in there. It didn't heighten anything because they already talked, like they talk about the scene that you see before you see it.
Yes.
So then when you see it, you're like, yeah, all right.
What's the
got it.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of to reveal something about her father, but like really it doesn't add up too much in the whole of the movie. And also, I hate the opening, but if that is the end of the de-aging thing, fine. I will eat the shit. But like to have this one more, like, how about we do it one more time? Just one more time if I get you.
And that's kind of weird because like I feel like not as de-aged, so they made him look like Crystal Skull era at that point.
Aren't you just blown away that we can do this, Andrew? Aren't you just fucking? Aren't you shitting and pissing out of your fucking orifices because you're so excited about how we can do this now? Isn't that so great? Doesn't everybody fucking love this shit? Like,
dude, do it.
I fucking hate it. Like, I'm always gonna hate it. The Tarkin stuff, and The Irishman, it works because it's a soulful movie, and like you're supposed to be looking back at something that was the central of something massive.
I love The Irishman too, but it doesn't work there either.
I agree.
He looks like Frankenstein, and he's got those giant blue eyes, and it's just disturbing.
I get why people don't like it, and again, I think it should be wiped off. Period. Yes. But at least in a movie like that, I see what Scorsese he's trying to do something with it. This, I was just like, you're just trying to get the Spielberg magic back by going back to a Spielberg era. And like, I don't think that's very smart. I don't think you're mangled. You know how to make a movie.
Right.
Don't second guess yourself like this.
That's what's tough, right? Is because like, and I like James Mangold too. And I think I thought the directing was more fine than you did. It is like, it's an unenviable task for any director to have to pick up a franchise where the other four of them and the only other four of them to ever exist are directed by one of the most talented and celebrated filmmakers in the history of the medium. That's fucking heavy, man.
Yeah.
That's real heavy.
Nobody wants to deal with shit like that. Like, that's why you have such a hard time getting like really good directors to just do these movies, is because they're like, I don't want to fucking do you see what I have to step up against? And like, I'm not allowed to change that much. Like, it would be one thing if they allowed them to actually play with the material a little bit, but they just want a retread almost every time. Was what they're looking for, is a retread. So like, they don't get to do anything. They don't even have to get to have fun.
I mean, you're right, because this is the nostalgia cycle. Let's try like one last big swan dive with Indy. It's not like Mangold's got anything to do after this with the franchise. I imagine this will be the last.
It better.
Maybe there'll be it didn't do well enough, I don't think, for a spinoff with Fleabag or anything like that. But.
Yeah, I don't know. I would see maybe some like Disney Plus TV show where it's recast or whatever, which I don't particularly care for.
I mean, there is precedent for recasting Indiana Jones, right? Because we had the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, and
Sean Patrick Flannery.
You could just do that again if you really wanted to tap into this, and it would probably be better than what we're getting now. I didn't hate this movie. I want to mention I gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd. I actually had a good time with it, but there are, you know, those glaring problems.
You know, to the nostalgia stuff, because like obviously we're getting douched with nostalgia 24/7. I would argue that the nostalgia, how it's like, you know, telegraphed in this movie, kind of airs closer towards, is not as good as, but airs closer towards Star Trek Picard than something like The Flash, right? Where The Flash is just like nothing but Easter eggs and elbow nudging and to just catch that fucking reference. Whereas like Picard was like, this is these characters 20 years on. And like, indeed, this is Indy 20 years on, and he's talking about things differently. It's a different sort of Indiana Jones. I mean, for again, a reason that I'm not going to, you know, talk about here, but I think it is a little bit of a different character. It's not just like the same guy. And like, you know, yeah, he references, you know, drinking the blood of Kala at one point and whatever. And so there's like things here and there, but it's not like, you know, he's got the fucking crystal skull sitting on the bookshelf in his living room or, you know, things like that. So it just felt more of like this is a nostalgia that's aged versus like look at that fucking CGI beep and that CGI beep from The Flash. You know what I mean? Like there's not that kind of gross shit.
That said, I didn't need Sala. I felt like that was a little much.
Yeah.
Why would you give it? Like I get like first of all, like his very obvious, very wise opinions on being a Muslim, of course, notwithstanding. You also in this age, like 100 people have brought this up, but in this age, a Welshman playing an Egyptian. Like, are we still like fine? That's fine. Like in any other movie, people would be raising their cackles and losing their shit over this. But of course, nostalgia wins over. So like,
he's grandfathered in quite literally.
Yeah, literally. Like it's so fucking stupid. But like, whatever. Like
it's not great, but you know, nice detail that, and you know, not really a spoiler, but like Indy helped his family come to Egypt. That's kind of neat. I don't know, whatever, or come from Egypt to America, rather, I should say.
I mean, as you alluded to, it is certainly a better movie than The Flash, but I can only say that because The Flash is a world-class atrocity. Like, there is not going to be something like that very often. That thing was a true fucking catastrophe. And like, the movie itself and everything leading up to the movie, it was just a perfect showcase. You could not ask for that to come back. This is like, I mean, I like Mads Mikkelsen as the villain. I'll say that.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
He was pretty good in that.
Yeah.
I like the whole, I like the plot. I like the concept. I like the stuff towards the end. I had a good time with a lot of it.
Some of the
Boyd
effects
Holbrook,
are good.
classic heavy.
Boyd Holbrook, who has, I think, is now any James Mangold movie is going to have him as a heavy. I think that's just after Logan in this. I think he's just like, just you come back.
And you know what's terrifying? What's terrible too is like Mangold was going to direct the Boba Fett movie, and it was supposed to be like a spaghetti western. Then we instead went to the kiddie TV show instead, and it's sort of like speaking of nostalgia and IP, I mean that's a property I would have liked to see Mangold handle. But we got this, and it's not bad. Honestly, it's not too bad.
Because Boba Fett, there's no, like you could say he has to step up into George Lucas's shoes, but it wasn't like Lucas was focused only on, and he's barely in the movie he directed. Like this would have been a place where he could have free reign and do what he likes to do. Logan, like what everybody says about Logan is that there are Western elements to it that people love, and that is where he does well. Copland also has Western elements. These are what he is good at.
Like
so
we were
why
saying
not
before,
let him do that?
Just playing the World War II sandbox. I mean, Tarantino did it to critical acclaim.
Of course.
Have fun.
He's not going to be Tarantino, but yes, I agree with you.
Oh, man. Yeah, if this movie ended with like fucking Indiana Jones just taking a machine gun to Hitler's skull,
that'd be great.
That would truly be phenomenal.
Carving a swastika into the forehead of Mads Mikkelsen.
Absolutely. The thing about Mads also, to just harp on the fucking VFX again, you didn't need to de-age him for that train sequence. It's Mads Mikkelsen, dude. Like, just gray his hair up in the 1969 timeline, and that's fine. Like, you did not need to put a polish on that dude's face, because what happened there because it was like more of a subtle one. Like he kind of looks like how bad Kurt Russell looks in that second Guardians movie.
Yes.
Where he's just got like the fucking, Ken doll face.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like that with Mads, and you're like, oh man, just make sure like his hair's, dyed so you got all the gray out and everything, and
you could do
fine.
Things. There's plenty of things to be done with this shit. It's just like the problem is like I look every time he's on screen in that first like 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Like it makes me itchy because I'm like, is that real or not? Like you should be you should, if it's gonna be fake, it should be obviously fake. Like I shouldn't be like, wait, what the fuck? Why does he?
Wait, they should
like...
You're saying they should make it look worse?
I would, or either just look like shit, or don't do it.
I mean, just don't do it. But like the problem is like he just looks like a fucking character from the Last of Us video game. Like I just always am looking over, and he's like looks half fake.
I mean, guys, speaking of which, I rewatched Tron Legacy this past week.
How's that hold up, dude?
Honestly, really well. I thought it was excellent. I had so much fun with it. But it's 2010, and this is sort of the kicking off of de-aging, and we have
with
that de-aged Jeff Bridges, which I would argue actually works in the world of the computer world of Tron when he's Clue, because that's a fucking computer game.
Yes,
I could see he looks like a computer game, and that makes sense.
Context.
But the movie yes, but unfortunately the movie undercut itself by having a young de-aged regular Jeff Bridges in an opening sequence before we even get there.
I forgot about that cold open.
And that is the big glaring error of that movie. I did still really love it. I rewatched that and the first Tron, and I had a blast.
Ooh,
really good movies.
You're having yourself a good holiday weekend. Just as a shitty, totally selfish, shameless plug, I decided to go long on Dial of Destiny on my website over at andrewjupin.com. Spoilers abound there, but did want to plug it because and I've said it elsewhere, I'm just as surprised as anybody else. But I had a lot of fun. I just kind of turned myself over to it, sort of warts and all and whatever. But yeah, there's warts, man. Don't worry about that. There's definite warts to be found. But I even find myself, now it's Monday. We saw it on Friday afternoon. I don't know. I'm still feeling good about it. I'm not regretting things I said there. So take it for whatever. But I know it's getting slammed a lot.
I think it's fun.
Yeah. So that's really kind of about it. I'm curious, any big other weekend watches? I got the Twilight Zone on here in the background. That's a big, July 4th tradition for a lot of folks. Are you dudes watching anything?
I mean, I saw No Hard Feelings, and I saw Indiana Jones. We are very slowly trying to We're 8 episodes into the season 2 of The Bear.
Same. Actually, I'm exactly where you are.
Oh, wow.
It's great, though. I'm having a lot of fun.
Incredible. This embarrasses all other like, it is so confident and so into what it's doing, like in a way that I have never seen with like not since Twin Peaks coming back have I seen a show that just is itself on its own terms. And like, of course, it's not as elusive and mysterious as Twin Peaks is. It's a much more grounded show.
So the season 2 episode 8 isn't about like the construction of evil at the advent of the atomic bomb.
There's no bugs going into anybody's mouths.
Nobody's as you got a light.
None of that.
Speaking of the construction of evil, though, Jamie Lee Curtis is in that episode.
Whoa, wait a minute.
Dude, Lee, you got to get on it. That episode is really monumental.
You have to watch it.
Okay,
we're not going to say anything about it, but my God,
it's great. Right. Yeah, I'm having a great time with it. I love. I also love just the food stuff, so you get like a little dose of what you like out of the Food Network in your drama.
So they give you a little bit of food porn on top of. Oh, okay. I like that. Yeah, we have to get into it. We're behind on that. We just did the ubiquitous July 4th Jaws rewatch. I have the 4K of that I'd never actually watched, so we put that on. And it reminded me, I saw a lot of people, and like theaters included, back over Memorial Day weekend being like, annual Memorial Day Jaws screening, and I was like, you guys, wrong holiday. Have you seen the movie? That was very weird. I don't know who's watching Jaws on Memorial Day, but July 4th weekend, Jaws was on. And I think the other thing we might try to do, we watched Shaun of the Dead last night, which I had not seen in who the fuck knows. and I think we're going to try to do the other two of them there, Edgar Wright movies.
I just rewatched The World's End. I tried to watch it every like 3 or 5 years. It's so fucking good.
Really? So this is interesting because I was talking to Steve about this, and he and I both have seen it like once in theaters, and we're kind of just like meh on it.
I was like that too, but I went back, and it is better than I remembered.
It's really, I think more like the first two of the Cornetto trilogy, I think it's called Cornetto.
Like yeah. I like Steve feel uncomfortable calling it that, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, the Nick Frost fucking the movies, like yeah, I think Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead are like very funny movies that do more than most parodies do. Like it's just a smart way of doing that kind of movie.
Yeah,
The World's End is like, to me, one of his like genuinely like heartfelt, deeply dark movies. Like,
that's interesting.
It's I think by the end of it, it is like a very dark film.
I mean, it's the premise.
So many others
is sad to begin with, you know.
Yes,
that's
and it works on both ends. I think both. If you read them as the heroes and read them as idiots, like in either sense, it works so well. I'm really blown away by that movie.
Oh, look at this. Someone here in the chat, Gavin, says, I think Chris Cabin is the first person I've ever heard not have a meh opinion on World's End, and it's what might finally get him to finish the trilogy. Well, look at that, dude.
Dude, fucking the thing opens with Primal Screams loaded. What more can I tell? It is a great song, and it's never been used to open, and it's just watch it. It's so fucking good.
There we go. All right, gang. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up. We'll get back to the holiday weekend here, but thanks for joining us either way. Now, of course, just because it's the holiday weekend does not mean we don't have stuff for y'all. So, of course, if you haven't got hip yet, over on the Patreon, our Spider-Man No Way Home and Terry, if you're looking for things to watch over the big, long weekend here, that is available. A lot of positive reviews of that I've heard. People seem to be enjoying it. And then, of course, on the main feed, there's an all-new We Hate Movies episode tomorrow dropping about, you guessed it, Garfield the movie.
Happy 4th of July, everyone.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. But, this was even though it's a short 81-minute movie, it was a big, hefty lift. So we had to bring a couple of our friends in. So Bob Mackey and Henry Gilbert from Talking Simpsons joined us. There's a photo of us right after the record there. You can see we were all really worn out, sweaty almost from talking about Garfield.
Clearly, Steve had just finished and was cleaning up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
As you can see.
He loves to finish.
Dude will finish. But yeah, wherever you get pods, that'll be available for you tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we're already in July, which means already our patrons are due an all-new We Love Movies episode. And this month, Eric, keeping on theme for some upcoming current releases, what are we talking about?
Mission Impossible, the original, not the original TV show, but the original action movie starring Tom Cruise, directed by Brian De Palma.
Absolutely.
That was a fun conversation, very loose and full of disgusting material. So if you're like, We Love Movies is too buttoned up for me, get ready to unbutton and get ready to finish and be happy.
Oh, yeah. Everybody is getting comfortable on the Mission Impossible episode. All of that and more on patreon.com/We Hate Movies. So get on over there and get hip to that. Because also, if you got the Big Daddy Dispatch as a Patreon subscriber, you know we're doing Mission Impossible because this coming Thursday, we are recording in anticipation of the release an all-new episode on John Woo's Mission Impossible 2. So be prepared for that. But it's a movie we all like in various degrees. And so don't worry, we're not slamming it.
We're not going to be slamming it. We're going to be slamming with it.
But anyway, gang, thanks so much for taking some time out of your day to hang out with us. Or if you're catching us on the audio or the replay, thanks for tuning in. And until next week, I've been Andrew Jupin.
Eric Siska.
Chris Cabin.
Take it easy, folks. Have a great week. Bye-bye.